Hi, my name is Brenda. You're watching Repatriated, and this is just a short video about how to apply for your Italian passport in Italy, but with instructions in English. So if you're watching this, you are either someone who received Italian citizenship and then moved to Italy, or you moved to Italy and then became an Italian citizen. In either case, you are now eligible for an Italian passport. So to get that Italian passport, you need to use either a carta d'identità or SPID, S-P-I-D, which is another form of digital identity. And whether you got your Italian citizenship abroad or here in Italy, you probably have one of these things. So again, a carta d'identità looks a bit like this. And you can use the information from that to go on to passaportoonline.it. This is the Italian passport website where you will make your appointment at the Questura in order to go get your passport. Now, I found some misleading information online, and I should mention this is as of October 2025. Rules change a lot in Italy, so do your due diligence and research. But I found online the instructions to fill out this form, Modulo Uno. However, that is largely outdated. And so you don't really need to do that. When you go on to Passaporto online, they will have you essentially give all of that information online. It's going to ask you all of those questions when you go to make your appointment. And it'll pre-fill an application for you. So that what you end up with is something like this. This is my confirmation that I made the appointment. And then with that came a pre-filled application. So all my information was there, and all I needed to do was then attach my 2 passport photos. And keep in mind that these photos are a different size, at least different than what the United States uses. So you might want to check the passport photos you have. You might need some new ones to make them the appropriate size for Italy. So then I was able to just attach those to the application. So now I have my date, and mine, there was ample opportunity. I could have had a next day appointment even, but I chose a date a week out so I could get some of these other steps completed. So now I've got my appointment made, and I printed out the application that it did for me. The next step was to go to the post office to pay one of the 2 fees associated with getting a passport. So this is the one that goes to the Ministry of Economy and Finance. And at the post office, you've probably been there before where you've seen some slips that look like this with the red tabs and things on them that are available to you to fill out with the amount you need. That is not the case for this particular one. You need to go to the desk and ask them specifically for it because it has been pre-filled and pre-printed with the account that it's going to. So the good thing is you didn't have to research that. The post office should have it, but they don't have it out where anybody can just get one. So you need to ask for that. And currently the amount that you're going to get from the post office is for 42 euros and 50 cents. Now, they did not know that at my post office, so I did need to research that to make sure I was getting it for the correct amount. So you can't assume that they're going to know what to do for you at the post office, even though oftentimes they will. At least in my circumstance, they didn't. You also want to make sure that you fill out every line of this on each segment, or they won't run it through for you. So your name, your address, spelling out the amount that it's for on each part. They will then run that through, charge you, give you a receipt. That part will also go with you to your passport appointment. Not done yet. You've got another fee to pay, and this one is in the form of a Marco di Bolla. They do not mention that anywhere that I can find, but this is the type of tax stamp that you get from a tabaccery, right? So any of the ones that are not every tobacco can do that for you. It's the ones that say Bolletti on the sign outside. They can do that for you. And this one, you want to get the stamp for 73 euros and 50 cents. So then you've got that to take with you to your passport appointment as well. The last thing that I believe that they need is the full copy of your ID, front and back carta d'identità, or if you already have an Italian passport that's expired, you would bring that. Whatever it is that you are using as your ID, you need full copies of that for your passport appointment. So my appointment is tomorrow. I'm filming this today because I don't know which items they're going to take, and I wanted to show you. So I will follow this next segment with what happened at the appointment. Hello again. I am now back from my passport appointment, and I am pleased to say that it is one of the easiest, fastest, official sorts of appointments that I have ever had since moving to Italy 2 years ago. So I arrived a little bit early. I sat in a waiting area, and when it was my turn, they were expecting me and called my name without me having to say anything or check in. So they were all ready to go. I took out all of my paperwork that they kind of went through, made sure everything was accurate, asked me to confirm things on the computer screen that, my address, phone number, birth date, etc. were correct. They kept the application materials. They took 2 of the 3 sections of the postal receipt and gave one back to me. Of the 2 passport photos, they kept 1, which they attached to the application. They gave me back the other. And then, this is the part that I was not prepared for, they are not going to use the cute passport photo that you prepared. Instead, you get your photo taken on the spot, looking however you happen to look and whatever you happen to be wearing that day. That is going to be your passport photo. So, surprise. So they took the photo there that will go onto my passport. Then it was just, all it was rubber stamping. They do the fingerprints, again, just the index finger fingerprints. And then told me it'll be ready for me to come back and pick up in 1 week. 1 week. I had to double check with him that that's really what he said, because that seems so fast for a passport to be ready. But that's what he said. So I will go back next week and pick up my first Italian passport, and it was just that easy. So I think the keys to remember if you're going for your Italian passport in Italy is just be prepared. Have all your documents ready, and then make sure you look cute on the day you go to get your passport. Good luck.